In 2008, the world was captivated by the story of Shannon Matthews, a 9-year-old girl from Dewsbury, West Yorkshire, who went missing for 24 days. Today, we're going to delve into the harrowing tale of the Shannon Matthews kidnapping and the remarkable events that unfolded during those tense weeks. Shannon Matthews was a typical young girl living with her mother, Karen Matthews, in a council estate in Dewsbury. On the afternoon of February 19, 2008, Shannon disappeared on her way home from school, sparking a massive search effort involving the police and hundreds of volunteers. On the afternoon of February 19, 2008, Shannon Matthews had just finished her swimming lesson and was on her way home from school. While on her way home from school, a vehicle pulled up next to her. In the vehicle was a man dressed in black. The two ended up having a conversation which led to the man convincing Shannon to get into his car with the promise of taking her to go see some puppies. She got into his car, and the man began driving to his house. Once inside his house, he drugged her and hid her in a compartment under a bed where she remained for almost a month. News of Shannon's disappearance quickly spread, with media outlets across the country reporting on the search. The community rallied together, distributing leaflets and organizing search parties, desperate to find the missing girl. "We're all just devastated," said one neighbor. "Shannon is such a sweet girl, and it's heartbreaking to think of what she must be going through." The investigation seemed to drag on, with no sign of Shannon, causing rising consternation amongst the police force. They meticulously interrogated family members, friends, and acquaintances, diligently assembling Shannon's activities prior to her sudden vanishing. During this period, Karen Matthews had temporarily taken up in Natalie Brown's house, since her own property was being thoroughly searched for potential leads. Natalie started to grow dubious of Karen's actions, especially when she ignored the police's warning and made a public statement to the media regarding Shannon's disappearance. Natalie vividly recalls the scenario. "I was present when the family liaison officer strongly advised her against interacting with the media until they had gathered as much information as possible. This crucial advice was based on past instances where such premature interaction had potentially jeopardized the missing child's life." Regardless, Karen went ahead with the interview. This left me questioning her motives. Why would anyone risk a child's life like that? Natalie confronted Karen about her rash decision, to which Karen responded, "Everyone told me to do it." Natalie was filled with frustration that no one seemed to perceive what she did about Karen's peculiar behavior. Another person who grew suspicious was Detective Constable Freeman. "When I got to the house, Karen and her boyfriend, Craig Meehan, were playing on an Xbox. Karen hardly looked up," she said. "After a few minutes, my phone rang. I had a pop song as my ringtone, and Karen got up and started dancing to it. I remember thinking, this is really odd." Then, after a painstaking 24 days, a breakthrough finally arrived. On March 14, 2008, neighbors reported hearing a young child's footsteps, which they hadn't heard before, to the police. Police arrived and ordered a search on Michael Donovan's house in Batley Carr, West Yorkshire, where Shannon Matthews was found hidden in the base of a divan bed. Shannon was found alive, hidden under a bed in the residence of Michael Donovan, who was the uncle of Karen's boyfriend. The horrifying truth of Karen and Donovan's participation in the kidnapping was revealed, triggering public outrage and disbelief. The initial relief upon Shannon's discovery swiftly turned into public indignation. Michael Donovan was the uncle of Shannon's stepfather, Craig Meehan. Donovan, who lived near Shannon's school, had been observing her for some time and had devised a plan to stage her disappearance. Shannon had reportedly been tethered to the bed and drugged with sedatives to keep quiet. Following a police investigation, Shannon's own mother, Karen, was also arrested, and on April 8, 2008, she was charged with child neglect and perverting the course of justice. It's thought Matthews and Donovan had plotted to release Shannon after a while, and to later discover her, take her to a police station, and then claim the reward. Not that it sounds like a particularly foolproof plan. You'd imagine it might have roused suspicion if the mother of a missing child was the one to come forward and claim the reward money upon her daughter's return home. The community was shocked and horrified by the details of Shannon's kidnapping, but relieved that she had been found alive. The revelation that Karen Matthews, Shannon's own mother, had been involved in the plot added another layer of complexity to the case. In a press conference following Shannon's discovery, Detective Superintendent Andy Brennan praised the efforts of the police and the community in finding Shannon. He also confirmed that Donovan had been arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and false imprisonment. In court, Karen Matthews and Michael Donovan were both found guilty of kidnapping, false imprisonment, and perverting the course of justice. Karen Matthews was sentenced to 8 years in prison, while Michael Donovan was sentenced to 8 years. The Shannon Matthews kidnapping was a case that shocked the nation. It highlighted the lengths that some people will go to for personal gain, as well as the strength and resilience of a community coming together in the face of adversity. Shannon Matthews, now safe and reunited with her family, serves as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and community spirit. Her story is one of survival, hope, and the enduring power of the human spirit.